I was poisoned in January by almond bread. Somebody gave me almond bread and I'm super allergic to it. We're gonna talk about what happened. So our story all starts here, and you can probably already tell the problem. So eating food is difficult. It's difficult for me. It's probably difficult for a lot of other people with allergies, you know, and if you have any sort of food sensitivity or allergy, eating food can be a challenge. It's a bit of a puzzle figuring out like what foods you can even eat. Shopping and cooking and doing a lot of those things takes a lot of time. So I had the idea of ordering food from a restaurant. Now, I've done this before a couple of times, and DoorDash lets you do it pretty easily. And this restaurant, Ritter's, it's in my hometown, does have some gluten-free options. They have a gluten-free pizza bread, gluten-free buns for burgers, and they're not bad. You know, they're not amazing, but they're not bad. And it's food that I can eat, and it's food that would be kind of easy for me to get a hold of because of DoorDash. When you go through DoorDash, it gives you an option to select allergens and just other modifications to your food, and so sometimes it'll say like you have a gluten allergy or tree nut allergy or things like that. So I order a burger from Ritter's, and now I've done this before, and I go ahead and select gluten allergy and tree nut allergy, you know, just to be safe. Not that I'm ordering anything that would possibly have tree nuts in it. So I have two different selections that I can pick from for a gluten-free bun substitute. I either have gluten-free bread or vegan bun. Now, knowing that I have a tree nut allergy, you could see why I might not want to pick the vegan bun, because vegan options are usually tree nut. I just pulled up a random vegan cookie recipe, and you can see almond flour is the main ingredient, because that's what vegan food normally is. You can't use dairy or butter, and so they often use tree nuts. Okay, so that's exactly my thinking, is the vegan bun is going to be the tree nut one, so stay away from that. So I picked the gluten-free bread. So of course, also, you know, it's just bread. They literally then give me my burger and it comes on 2 slices of bread. You know, which I think is just the most pitiful way to do a gluten-free burger, because there are gluten-free buns. It's very, like, easy to do that. Well, so I eat this burger, which I'm reminding you is from this restaurant, and I marked tree nut allergy. So, you know, just in case anything goes wrong, they also know I have a tree nut allergy. So DoorDash delivers the food. It shows up perfectly. It doesn't taste that great. The bread's pretty bad. But I eat it, you know, and I eat the bread and it has, you know, gluten-free tree nut allergy. So I should be fine. This picture's great. So anyway, I start having horrible reactions pretty instantly. I don't get physical swelling or anything like that, but I get horrible anxiety. And within like an hour or two, I just start having the worst anxiety ever. And this goes on for a couple of days. Now at this point, I'm actually so sick, like my stomach hurts and I'm so ill that I go and stay with my parents for a while. Gosh, this just happened. That's so crazy. That's so crazy. And it's only after a couple of days that my wife asks me, do you think that something could have been wrong with that burger? And I was like, I don't think so. It should have been gluten-free and nut-free. Because again, remember, I picked the gluten-free one, not the vegan option, because vegan stuff's almond. You know, they always use almond for vegan stuff. And she goes, okay, I'm going to call Ritter's and see what they say. So she gets Ritter's on the phone, and a waitress answers, and she doesn't know, so then she asks someone else about what the ingredients are, and that waitress says, oh yeah, I always avoid the gluten-free bread, because she also has a tree nut allergy. She avoids the gluten-free bread, and instead picks the vegan option. And she does that because the gluten-free bread is actually almond bread. What? Ah! So then the vegan one has no tree nuts in it, and it's just gluten-free. So I don't know why they're calling it vegan. Like, what the heck? Are you kidding me? Not to mention then, I told them oh, by the way, I have a tree nut allergy. And they gave me tree nut bread. Now, I know that DoorDash isn't even fully responsible for this. Because I've seen those receipts and I've gone into restaurants and they print out and it says all the details on the DoorDash receipt. It says, you know, don't include this or no this or whatever. And they're looking at it. So that means Ritter's is not training their employees and nobody there is paying attention to any of the food allergens. So I ended up getting poisoned and eating tree nuts. All because I picked the gluten-free option. And because I thought it was gluten-free, just call it almond bread. Why would you say gluten-free? So that you'll notice that was about oh gosh, about 6 or 7 months ago. Anyway, and I have still been having issues ever since. So like it was bad, having one of the worst, almost like psychotic episodes of my entire life ever during this time period, which I like now I know for like scientific fact, like that's from eating tree nuts because I'm allergic to it. So technically, if you've ever heard of like the gluten challenge or the allergen challenge, it is the dumbest crap ever, but it's called the food challenge test, which basically is, hey, we have no good way of testing if you're allergic to something, so we have you eat the food and see if you die. It involves eating or taking a capsule of a certain food, and your provider monitors you for an allergic reaction. So basically, the best science that we have right now for an allergy is, do you die? Yeah, but did you die? Yep, so this is the food challenge test. I ended up doing the food challenge test. Now, I know that I've had a tree nut allergy for years and years at this point, but I technically have never tested it because I don't want to. So now I did, and yeah, I like almost died. I was like bleeding internally. I had like the worst physical reaction to it as well. I was shivering for about a month every night. And again, none of these things are like, you know, full-blown anaphylaxis, so I can't go to like the ER or something because it's like, oh, well, sounds like you're having an allergic reaction. You know, I can take like Benadryl and stuff, but like beyond that, there's kind of nothing that you can do. So I end up bedridden for like 2 weeks. Where I'm just going through these shivers and these horrible, like, psychotic nightmares and things, before eventually I start kind of, like, getting a grip and I'm, like, feeling more normal-ish. Now, ever since then, it's been, like, this slow trajectory of just getting better, but I'm still not fully healed from all of that. And I don't know if there's long-term, like, permanent damages that have happened because of this. But if you're considering eating any sort of food at a restaurant and you have any sort of allergy, don't trust them to do it for you. They won't know what to do. They don't know what to do. I mean, most people don't even know about allergens to begin with. Like, allergies are just not well discussed or talked about in the public sphere. You know, gluten-free has only recently become a trend. Even though it was discovered in like the 1800s, it's just not a thing that people take very seriously at all. Like, and I could go into how little the US FDA actually cares about food allergens and stuff. I mean, this graph, I just pulled it up, haven't even looked at it, and it just says, these are all the food recall incidents that have happened due to allergies, and like per year it's like maybe 200. Like, there are so many more cross-contamination incidents than this, and so the fact that there's like, it's in the hundreds, not like the thousands, and there's so many different food products out there that are definitely contaminated. It's just ridiculous to me. So anyway, in defense of DoorDash, I don't think that this was their responsibility whatsoever. They passed off the information, they hand off my order, and they just deliver it. So like, they did great. And the fact that they have a lot of gluten-free, you know, substitution, I guess like capabilities and stuff in their app is like really cool. The problem is, all of that fully depends on the restaurant to actually follow through with the instructions, and most of them don't. Oh, that reminds me, there's a freaking pizza store here as well. that does have gluten-free crusts, and I ordered it from here one time, off of DoorDash as well, and they gave me a full-on just gluten pizza. And I was like, what are you even doing? So single-handedly, this will go down as the one single event in my life that has been the worst. Like, I've gotten concussions and I've like gone to the hospital for injuries and all sorts of things. By far, this incident is by and large the worst incident that has ever happened to me in my entire life. I'm almost 30 now, and I've had food allergies since I was like 15, and this is by far the worst thing that anyone has ever done to me. Like, the amount of just pain and suffering that I have been through over the past 7 months is exclusively due to the almond bread that I was given. And there's just so many things that they could have done differently, given the fact that, like, it says on the receipt, like, tree nut allergy, and nobody even looked at that. The fact that they labeled their almond bread as gluten-free, but not saying that it has almonds in it. Like, it is an atrocity what happened. And so I'm putting this out there to hopefully kind of warn anyone else that if you're going to a restaurant, like, they can totally mess you up. And this is a conversation I was having with my family actually about how food is just such a part of our culture as well, that it's really hard to get out of, like, oh, I can't go because I have food allergies. It's like, well, what else are we gonna do? Because, like, we all eat. And eating together is just such an activity that we participate in as a culture, that not being able to go to a restaurant really puts a hindrance on your social life and your ability to connect with other people. So it really sucks. Like, it's a very difficult thing, and I'm still figuring it out because it's basically a risk every time I go out. But in case you're kind of on the fence about, like, making a big deal when you go out, like, hey, I have a food allergy. Hey, I don't really want to be a nuisance, but, like, you guys gotta watch out for this, and this in order for me to enjoy my time here and not die. It's actually a really serious thing, and I think that you should take it seriously because, like, you deserve to have that. Like, that's not a selfish thing for you to actually take care of yourself by speaking up and asking for the things that you need, because this is no longer about a preference. It's your actual, like, requirement in order to live, is that you have to talk about these things. So anyway, the moral of the story, don't eat almond bread, I guess. I don't know. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you like this type of content, stick around, subscribe. I've got a lot of stuff. I have been figuring out allergy things for years and years now. I have so much information that I have to get through, and I'm making this YouTube channel to just hopefully help anybody out there. I'm not really planning on doing too much other than that. You know, one day I would like to make, like, a recipe book of stuff that I like cooking, but for the most part, you know, just, I've got a lot of information, so if you're interested, please check out my other videos. I got stuff on all sorts of topics, and I'm gonna keep adding more and more. So thanks for watching. I hope you stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time.